I got one. Oh yeah, dude, that's the one.
Hey everybody, it's Nick Kanemoto with the Bass Hookup. Thanks for watching. I just want to start out by saying thank you for all the support you guys have shown us over the last few months, and we do read the comments, and we're really happy to hear that, you know, some of you guys put to work what we were talking about on approaching the Delta, and you're able to catch some fish that way. So that's awesome. If you're new to the channel, we're just a couple guys passionate about fishing. My brother Thomas and myself, we're doing all the videos. We're going out doing tournament videos, doing how-to videos, how to approach the Delta, how to approach Clear Lake, all the different seasons, and keeping you up to date on what the bass are biting in those places and what you should be looking for at different times of year. Again, how to approach it, what to use, exactly what structure you're looking for, or you know, high percentage areas that'll help you catch more fish. If you like that type of thing, subscribe to the channel. We truly appreciate it. We appreciate all of you that watch and all of those of you who have subscribed to the channel. And we're gonna keep on trying to push this content out and make it more and more useful. We're new at doing this, so you know, hopefully the videos get better and better, because like I said, we're just doing this for fun, just filming our trips, trying to bring you guys that knowledge that we've acquired over the last 15 years of tournament fishing. And we're fishing a bunch more this year, so you guys will see all that, all these Northern California lakes, the Delta, even some pond fishing, and just fun stuff. So we got a lot coming up. In today's video, we're going out to the California Delta. My tournament partner Gary and myself are going out there to fish a little club tournament, and I'm going to try to put to use everything that I've been talking about as far as approaching the Delta this time of year, what toolies to look for, what tide I'm looking for and why, and also what baits I'm using and how I'm using them. And that's all going to be in this video coming up. So stay tuned. I hope you guys learn a little bit more from this video, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks. As good as any. Try it real quick. No.
Takes 15 minutes.
Oh, yep. Oh, fat. Well, there are fish here.
All right, we'll take
Actually, not a giant, but got them on the Wacky Rig Senko. Right there on the outside toolie. Sitting right out there.
Oh, I got one.
On the swim jig, dude. I got one on the swim jig.
That one, dude?
Yep. Don't know how big he is. Nope. Little, dude.
It can matter though this year. Dude, yeah, let's take it. Dude, it can matter, dude.
All right. Just caught another one on the same swim jig I've been catching them on at my house. That red craw pattern.
Little one.
Hey guys, it's Nick with the Bass Hookup. We are out here on the beautiful California Delta. Now here with Gary in his boat. So yeah, I'm like the guest today, even though I'm driving it everywhere and just acting like it's mine, but I'm the co-angler. And yeah, we're out here trying to put to work what we've been telling you guys and showing you guys in those mapping videos on how to fish these islands, how to follow the tides. We're gonna try to put that all together today and hopefully explain, you know, what toolies we're looking for on low tide, spots I'm looking for on high tide, And earlier you saw us catch a couple fish right off the bat, so the fish are biting. And it's low tide right now. We're starting off in Frank's Track, so the reason is because it's going to be high tide, and I want to fish high tide. It's going to be high tide here in Frank's Track because it's further west than, say, you know, the Middle Delta or Disappointment. So the tide's going to be up here sooner. So that's why I start out here. We're going to fish here, wait for that tide to come up, and then as the tide comes up, we're going to follow it. Oh, this island we started on right here, it's a good example of what to fish on low tide. One reason is we have these tulies that come way off the bank, and if you could see, it's 4 feet deep out here. So these tulies that come way off and they make all these little points, like up there looks perfect. They're sparse, they're coming out making points. The fish will sit there and actually ambush stuff right there, or they're moving up there, you know, looking for an area to spawn later on. And another reason this island's good for low tide is because on high tide, a lot of the fish you can't even get to, because if you could see back in there on high tide, the fish will be all the way back up in there. So anything that was in there on high or would be in there, they're gonna suck out here and they're gonna be on the edge and they're gonna be catchable. So this is a good low tide spot, and there's a lot of islands like this around the track and around the delta. We're gonna continue to fish. I'll continue to explain, you know, why I'm throwing what I'm throwing and where I'm throwing it. So stick along. So right now the advantage that we have is that there's 2 of us in the boat. We got Gary flipping a Senko, covering those fish, see if they're gonna bite that. And I'm throwing moving baits right now. So I'm throwing this little swim jig and trying to cover, you know, these key spots, like this Tule point coming out, looks perfect. And there's a bunch of them all along this island. So that's one advantage of having 2 people. If you have 2 people, you know, we're starting off with 2 different baits. If I catch 5 on this and he doesn't catch any on the Senko, then he might switch to a moving bait and vice versa. So I just want to talk about how I'm throwing this swim jig. And it's the same pretty much for spinner baits. Anything I'm throwing out there and it sinks, you know. So crankbaits, you know, obviously you're gonna throw out there and start reeling it, but stuff that I can get down on the sink, I'm gonna let it go all the way to the bottom. So I'm gonna cast out right by these sparse tulies, right along the edge, or maybe through them if I can. Let it go down to the bottom and then just start slowly reeling it, keeping contact with the bottom, getting it hung in weeds, popping it out. And a lot of times that's when you're gonna get your bite. You come over the tulies, come through the tulies. That's how you're gonna draw the reaction strike, and just reeling it real slow, as opposed to casting it out and then starting to reel right away. I let it go down and I'm reeling it right through the strike zone the whole time. So that's one tip I have on throwing swim jig, you know, swim baits. Let it get down to the fish and then start just slowly reeling it, keeping contact with the bottom. So if I'm going down this whole bank and I'm gonna pick an area that I would think the fish are gonna be, they're probably, I would say right here. We have a break in between these 2 islands, just a small one, and then all these tulies are thick, and then we have these sparse clumps just right here next to the point of this island. This would be a prime example of what you're looking for right now. So right here, guys, we're fishing a point. Still in Frank's Track, we moved. Tide's still coming in. You could see current's running pretty strong right here. And when you're fishing these points, you know, the fish are either they will set up in the strong current, or where there's currents coming around, they'll be right in the back pocket, sitting right out of the current, waiting to ambush something. All right, guys, little update. We are moved a little bit east, so we're at Prisoner's Point, seeing if we could get something over here. We're following the tide. It's about 10 o'clock. I'll show the tide right here, and yeah, keep you up to date with what we're doing and if we catch any fish. All right, guys, just made the move. We're still out here by Prisoner's Point. Still low tide, so it's not prime time. And just throwing around these clumps of weeds. So again, low tide, you can see these clumps of weeds and they're sporadic. They're all out here. These are ambush points too, just like you would throw to those tules that are out of way. These are just the same. The fish will position around these and they'll ambush things as the wind blows it in, the current blows it in. So that's where that fish came from. And we're gonna keep fishing. There's a bunch of them out here. Maybe we'll get some more fish.
Good one.
Yep, good one, dude. There we go. Thumped it, dude. Yeah. All right, another one, guys. It's not a giant, look bigger in the water, but still same pattern right on the outside of these weeds. Good sign. Just a matter of time before we run into a big one. Yeah, like I said, right stretch, right time. No, that's, I got him. I got him. He might be bigger than the one. Oh. He might be bigger than the one that we had in there. Small, but Sticko. All right, guys, let's give you a little update. We moved, made another move. We're about as far east as I want to go. We're over here by Ward's Island, that area. Just caught little fish on a Senko, but it's high tide, and we're just gonna keep on staying in this area of the Delta and fish it through the high outgoing tide until about 2 o'clock. So still flipping the Senko, still doing the same things, still fishing the same like little areas, points like that, tule points that come out, same type of stuff. So hopefully we get some bigger fish, because right now they're on the smaller side. Yep. Here we go, boys. Not a big one, but that one.
That one's a 5+.
No, it's not that one. There we go. There we go, guys. Finally. Dude, under the hyacinth. There we go. That's a nice one. 6-inch Senko. Yeah, back us up off of the. You could turn it down. There might be one in that one ahead of us. I didn't flip. Right off these patches of hyacinth, threw it in there. And a lot of times on sunny days, they'll sit under that stuff. And you just gotta toss your Senko there and let it float under. And sure enough, it went lift up, and this guy was there. Nice one. Big one of the day so far.
Bigger than a flash.
Yeah, it's not that big. No. Shoot, I wish. All right, guys, got another one. Got another one, Senko, same thing, just fishing these, just like my brother was, these outside toolies out away. And actually a key today is it's sunny, so the key is flipping on the shady side, or it's better if there's some sort of mat like I caught that better fish out of in the toolies or around them, and letting the Senko go right underneath. Keep on fishing, see if we get some more. Right now is the tide we want. It's high. It should start to go out pretty soon, so see if we could catch some on that.
All right, so that was it. The tournament is over. We actually weighed in. We had 13 pounds, 13.89 pounds, and ended up coming in second place, which we'll take that. The conditions were really, you know, it's not an excuse, but they were bad for fishing. We had extreme high pressure. We had bluebird skies. We had the worst tidal coefficients of the month, and so that means that there's no tide current movement really, and even high tide was still fairly low, and I wanted to fish that high tide. And throughout the day, the fish were really making it apparent that they wanted to be around like the weed cover, some type of overhead weed cover, whether it be the primrose or floating hyacinth, even though it was dead, most of it's dead, half alive. They wanted to be underneath that stuff in the shade. So one thing that we learned from that trip yesterday was that when it's sunny outside, even if the bite's pretty good, the fish are not staged up yet to where they're gonna hold on to those sparse toolies, even if it's sunny, because they're on a bed or whatnot. Right now they're kind of moving in and out with the weather, in and out with the tide, looking to feed and then go back out. They're not up there to stay up there really yet. But this week we have like 70-degree weather. They might move up, and typically when they move up, they'll pretty much stay up in those areas. So right now the water temp, you know, was 50 degrees, 53 at the warmest. It's still early stages of pre-spawn, and they're moving in and out with the weather. So on a sunny day, they need that shade, they need that cover. Now if it would have been cloudy, those fish would be up, they'd be roaming around, and they'd be set up on those sparse toolies like my brother was catching them in our previous video. So that's one main takeaway from fishing yesterday. And I knew it, and I didn't adjust great to it. It was hard to find the right types of hyacinth patches that, you know, mats that were in the right toolies to where you could flip a Senko and let it float up under there, or punch them and catch one. And the one I did find, we caught our big fish on it. So if I had some more of those, it would have been good, but I'll take the second place. First place only had 14 something, so congratulations to them. It was only, you know, a little bit more than us. So like I said, it was a tough day. We'll take it. We got plenty more videos coming up. Fishing the Oroville teams. My brother's fishing the Wild West Pro-Am in the Delta in March. So we got that stuff coming up for you guys, and we'll do all our breakdown and everything like that just as normal. All right, so hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.